What's going on, my fam sizzles? It is so good to have you back. It is so great that you are tuning in this week. I appreciate it greatly. Let's get into it. This week I really want to talk about live mixing at a wedding versus like in your head and the fantasy of what it's really gonna be like. So, in the fantasy of what mixing at a wedding as a DJ is gonna be like, is it's gonna be like this. All right, DJ, go ahead and start the show. So you push the button and he kind of builds and it's ambience and it's slowly, lights are slowly flashing and music starts and everybody just hustles to the dance floor and you're just mixing songs back and forth and you're all of a sudden you stop, you do a little scratch break and you're like choo 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 choo. Turn around doing 360s. Everybody's like, wow, this is the most amazing DJ I've ever seen in my life. This is awesome. Get your phones out, film him. Oh my gosh. And you're out there, you're just sweat, just going for it. Everybody's feeling it. Everybody's swaying back and forth. All the babies, all the grandparents, everybody in the house, the couple, all the wedding party, they're all just swaying back to every song and they love every song you're playing, every moment. Oh, and it's glorious. And you play a 60-minute set. God, thank you guys so much. Congratulations to the couple. Good night. You walk away and you just played the best DJ set in your mind, in your life. But the reality is it doesn't work that way. The reality is, like, you work on a timeline, you work on the couple schedule. You're not a big stadium DJ. You're not the festival DJ who's playing to 20,000 people and they paid $500 per person to be there. They're there for the weekend. They're only there to see you. It's not the reality at a wedding, okay? So the reality at a wedding is you're on a schedule, you're on a timeline. Sometimes things get pushed around. They say, hey, we need you to play from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Cool. Actually, you know what? Our schedule changed. Can you play from 7 to 10 now? You're like, whoa, okay. So now instead of a 60-minute set, you're playing 7, 8, 9, 10, 3 hour set. Oh my gosh. How do I play that? Right. So there's these realities that we don't think about sometimes, maybe as a DJ, maybe sometimes as a couple. I know wedding planners always think about these things. I've worked with so many great wedding planners out here. Like, yeah, if you need recommendations for wedding planners, please let me know. There's some amazing wedding planners out here that I have had the absolute privilege of working with. Anyways, back to the reality of what it is to do DJ mixing at a wedding. So, DJ mixing at a wedding, you think you're going to get out there and just do a flawless mix and everybody's going to dance and have fun. It's not how it works. You may be able to get people out there with those multi-generational songs for like the first 20 minutes. But after that, man, different generations, different people, they get tired. Some people don't like to dance as long as other people. Some people get distracted. They say, I want to drink. I can go to the bathroom, my phone. So you never know. There's going to be 1,001 distractions that are going to take people away from the dance floor. And that's just the reality of the situation. So as a wedding DJ, you have to be very clever. You have to be very experienced as well. I have so much experience on dance floors, like DJing dance floors, all different types of dance floors. And one thing I can tell you is that every dance floor is different. Every couple is different. I always require a couple to give me at least 20 to 30 song playlist reference of what their crowd loves, what they love. If I know that, I can build a playlist around that. Meaning, if they say they want me only to play for an hour, I better be prepared for at least 3 hours, maybe even 4. I need to know the energy of songs. I need to know, like, is this high energy? Is this mid energy? Is this low energy? Because sometimes people like will dance on a floor for 45 minutes to an hour. They'll get tired. They'll want to go outside. They'll want to take another drink. They'll want to take a smoke. There's 1,001 reasons, right? We call these mysteries of the mind. We don't know why some people are distracted and why some people aren't. We don't know these things. We just accept them. So that being said, when the dance floor might cool off in certain crowds, you have to kind of change your energy. You don't want to be playing Little John when the dance floor is empty, because that can be a little embarrassing. Turn down for what? No one's out on the dance floor. Like, what's going on here? So it's okay to bring the energy down. It's okay to slow it down a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, even when you're doing an hour set, it's okay to kind of move the energy up and down. If you try to just hit people dun, 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 for an hour straight of that at a wedding, it might be a little too intense. So you might be turning people off. It's okay to have a rhythm that keeps working. And if it's working for a certain night, great, stick with that rhythm. But if it's not working for that night, then switch your rhythm up a little bit, switch your era up a little bit, switch your genre up a little bit, try different things. And then once you kind of figure this stuff out, like I create folders within folders that are like, they guide me to let me know, like, this is this kind of energy, this is this kind of energy. So when I need to like pull my energy levels up, I can go to this music. When I need to pull my energy levels down, not saying slow it down and it's a slow song. I'm saying like middle energy stuff where you kind of just grooving like this. You're not like this kind of. So everything is about movement when it comes to dance. So it's really important to understand that as a DJ. If you can understand like movement and like different rhythms and different cultures and different instrumentations and music, it's all how it makes you move. So once you understand that, it's pretty simple. Like certain crowds don't like to move certain ways. Like the way kids move versus adults is totally different. The way grandparents move and their style of music versus the 20-year-olds generations, whatever, it's all different. Every generation of music is different. Every era of music is different. So once you understand all the like the different rhythms, different instrumentations, that'll really help you like organize playlists before you get into a wedding and like how to handle a dance floor. And then also lyrics play a big part in like your music and mood. Understanding like different lyrics, and so I have like different playlist analyzers. So when a couple will give me a playlist for a wedding, I'll go in there and I'll take that link and I'll put it into different playlist analyzers. And what that'll do for me is it'll say this playlist has, you know, 40% pop dance. It has 20% hip hop. It has, and such. Like, and what that'll let me know is like the majority of the music is probably what they're going to want to hear more of. So like the smaller genre stuff is good and play it, but don't like make that the focal point. Now, once you kind of figure out like your playlist energy and stuff, like this is an important thing too. Like what the analyzer, what it'll tell you is like, here's the mood, here's the danceability, like factor, like it's 74% danceable. So like little things like that will kind of tip you off like when you're building your playlist for your wedding set. So also like when it comes to like the fantasy versus reality, you think you're going to be going out there and just going for it and no one's going to come up to you at any moment during your mixing? Forget about that. There is going to be somebody that's going to come up to you and they might say something to you. Like it could be a venue owner that could come up to you and be like, hey man, we got to turn the music down a little bit. It could be a wedding planner that says, hey, we actually forgot to throw the bouquet. Can we do that like the next song? And it's like, and they're not being rude. They're not, don't take it personally. Like that's the worst thing you can do. What they're doing is they're just being like, hey, they're trying to help you. So they're meaning like it's good, but like for this venue, we can't have it that loud. Hey, the bride forgot to throw the bouquet. Can we do that? And they're not trying to like disrupt your show or anything. They're just saying, hey, this is something that I got to solve and this is something I got to solve. Can you help me with that? Absolutely. I got you. So the biggest problem you can have as a wedding DJ when it comes to mixing like your set is to think that if I stop my set right now, I'm never going to get these people back. That's just not the case. Okay. It's not how it works, because I played so many weddings where I'll be in a groove, everybody's dancing. I mean, we're like the dance floor is packed. And somebody will say to me, hey, we got to stop because we got to do cake cutting all of a sudden. I forgot to do cake cutting. I'm so sorry. No problem. oh my gosh, my dance. I could be like, no, we can't do that. The dance floor's back. We're going. It's like, no, you got to understand, like, things happen and it's okay to stop your mix and then build that up again. Believe me, if everybody's dancing, they're going to start dancing again. So never, never feel like you have a weak dance floor. Like if you got to like pull everything down and then you got to start it again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like absolutely, I kind of prefer some of that. Like sometimes it's kind of nice to reset, kind of move again, try it again. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So also, people will come up and request songs left and right. So, and it never, let me repeat this, it will never happen when you're like, just finished mixing that perfect mix across, adjusting all my levels again, moving everything this way, just queued up my next song. All right, cool. Now I can kind of look at the crowd a little bit. I'm good. No, it happens when you're like this. All right, play and excuse me. And you're like, well, hang one sec. And you're not trying to be rude. Look, hey man, I'm just trying. Look, I got 100 people in front of me. I don't want to mess this mix up. They're going to look at me funny. I know you got a song request. Hang on one second. Gotcha. Now, that being said, I have an assistant with me at all times because these moments will happen. So what you can do to take some of that like distraction away from you is you just say, hey, oh, get my assistant real quick. And they're like, oh, okay. And then she'll just jump up there. She'll go like, what song did you want to hear? And I'd be like, oh, okay. And then that just takes away from you. Also, you just looking like a bad person. Like they don't know what you're doing back there. They just think you're pressing buttons. Like for the most part, like you do a lot back there as a DJ. Believe me, there's a lot going on. But I think perception of most people just think you're just pressing buttons and you're just moving songs back and forth and it's pretty easy. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's really hard, but but there's nothing wrong with the perception that it's easy. So that being said is that there's no such thing as like the perfect, like you're just going in there doing your thing and oh my gosh, that was a perfect transition and that was the perfect this and that. Yeah, you may have that, but if you don't have a great song coming up next, if you're not listening to the people, like if you're allowed to take guest requests from the couple, which I always go over with couples, I always say, hey, are guest requests okay? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. If you don't want certain requested songs, if you do, just let me know. And then if people are like, can we make a request? You're like, unfortunately, we can't tonight. It's not, it's not part of tonight. So it's just really important to have all those details mapped out before you go in. It's really important to be prepared. Like the more you can be prepared before you go into your wedding set, the better set you're going to have because you're going to have so many things, distractions around you. It's just the reality. Like the other weekend I did a wedding where there was two boys that were like 9-10 years old and they were just hanging out with me for like the first 20 minutes of the set and they were just like asking me questions and I'm like, it's all good. I actually enjoy the company. I don't mind it, but it kind of becomes a point though where it's like, hey man, I do have to focus here. Like it's one of those things where it's like, thank you guys. Like, I appreciate you guys. Like, hey, you hit the button right there real quick. Cool. But after that, it's like, hey, man, I got to get to work here. Like, it's cool. I appreciate the questions and I appreciate you guys' fascination with everything. But at a point, it's like, you play with the lighting a little bit. But then at a point, it's like, I do have to get to business here. It is something that I do have to have a lot of mental focus on. And choosing that next song is really important. And it's more important than how unique the mix is to the next song. Because if you play a terrible song that no one likes and you don't have that experience to know what people are going to love and you haven't pre-planned all like, these are really good songs. Like these are like, yeah, a lot of people like these songs. So these are good, like probability songs versus other songs where it's like, I've kind of heard of that song, but so a lot of your research before you go into your weddings will really help too. So I recommend like a lot of reaction videos. Be careful with the YouTube or not the YouTube, but the TikTok videos where like everybody's dancing to a song and stuff. Be careful with those because they're like really like group dances are really hard to coordinate. So you have to be really careful with like certain songs like that, like of the week songs, like maybe, but really look at the playlist a couple gives you. Most couples will give you a very like at least 100 songs for the party, like sometimes even like 300 songs. It really just depends on the couple, but I always tell a couple, I say, hey, the more songs you can give me, the better. Um, really think about everybody, in your party. Who's the dancers? Who's not the dancers? They say there's three types of people. There's the dancers that are just ready to party. There's the in-betweeners who are like, yeah, kind of dance here and there, and I don't know, maybe I will dance tonight. And then there's the ones that just sit on the sidelines and go, I don't know, man, I don't dance. I might go like this and whatever, but I enjoy listening to the music. So those are kind of the three type of people that you'll encounter as a DJ. And the ones in the middle are really the ones that you want to get out on the dance floor. The dancers are the great ones, but you get the ones that are the non-dancers. Those are the ones you can really push in there. Those are the good ones. Also a little word like of caution, like with requests and stuff. It's okay to like play a little bit of a song. What I've been really doing this year is like I've been building um shorter versions of songs. So like if I get a song request that may or may not work and I'm not really sure about it, I can get in and out of it within like 60 seconds. Also, I always make sure I say, "Hey," with my assistant, I say, "Hey, make sure you grab their name, make sure you grab the song and then maybe a little dedication." Really helps with songs that may not be well known. But sometimes songs that aren't well known are really special to a couple or their wedding party. So also don't be afraid of those kind of songs. But those are some stuff that you want to talk about with the couple beforehand as well, because some songs that are cool, maybe with the couple and their own personal time versus at their wedding with their wedding party is a little different. So those are just some things you have to think about. But I guess really just kind of use your intuition when it comes to everything. And you'd be great mixing and everything like that. So yeah, I think that should cover everything. I mean, if you guys have any more questions or any thoughts or anything like that, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment anything you'd like me to talk about as far as DJing and weddings goes. I'd love to share anything I can, and I'm always trying to be as helpful as I can as well. So, all right, thank you guys so much for listening to Behind the Booth with me, DJ iSizzle. I will talk to you next week. Bye.